right, and we're back. This is episode 15 of The Tap Room. I am your host, Mike, and I do have a guest with me today here for the intro. Is a Big Ern.
Yo, what's up? Thanks for having me on, Mike.
At Chugs Gaming on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Check out his reels and all that stuff. He's guy kills it. I mean, I'm better than he is, but I mean...
All right, you need to relax there a little bit, buddy.
We're going to start it off right, like we always do. Crack a brewski, give it a review ski. Oh, actually, what do you want to start with? Do you want to start with Clever Kiwi? It's a Nelson Hop Pilsner, or do you want to start with a hazy?
We'll go with the Pilsner.
Pilsner? All right, let's do it. You had a rough night last night?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Jake and I went pretty hard. Had a few brewskis and didn't stop.
Couple bees. And for people listening, it's Ernie's birthday weekend. His birthday is tomorrow, May 28th, so we're recording this intro on a Saturday. Normally I record on Sundays.
So feel free to take a sip.
There you go. This episode will be out tomorrow, the 28th, Ernie's birthday. Oh, here, sorry, my bad. Here you go. Got you a little cut there. I forgot to pour it into the mic.
It's all good.
Oh, yeah. Look at me when you pour it. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, me and Ernie have known each other now for
15 years.
I would think it'd be longer than that.
You think so?
Probably close to, I would say, yeah, oh, that might be right. Like maybe like 17. So
that's around there. That's a long time.
Because I think I met you sophomore year, and that was 2003.
Yep.
Dude, that's 20 years ago.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Because I've known Ivan for 20.
Okay, then there you go.
No, I've known Ivan for 25. Yeah, it's crazy.
Old buddies.
Yeah.
Good old buds.
Here we go. Let's check this one out. So it's kind of, I like this one, this Clever Kiwi, because it's kind of cloudy, even though it's like a Pilsner, because most Pilsners are super clear.
That's what it's, yeah.
But, I mean, look at the head on that.
It's a little dirty and nice head.
Yeah.
Let's just see how it is.
Yeah, and it's got, it's called Nelson hops. The hops in it are Sapphire and Nelson, obviously. The malts are Carafoam.
Carafoam.
And it looks kind of foamy, like you would see at the beach.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's pretty solid, actually.
Oh, yeah. This one's
Goes
delicious.
down easy. This is actually pretty good.
Yeah. Burgeon, they're down in Carlsbad, and this episode will be, well, the guest I was interviewing was Mackenzie Kline. She was the one of the marketing directors, head of marketing at Burgeon.
Okay.
Super, super cool lady. And, totally hooked me up with beers, and you got to check that place out. We'll all have to go down there together one day.
I'm down. Yeah. What other beers did you have from there?
Oh, shit. What didn't I have?
Oh, man,
This
nice.
is probably a better question. Like, yeah, the next one we're going to be having is a hazy in a little bit. Yeah, but this one's freaking delicious.
This is a solid 10. I
Yeah.
actually like it. I could pound a few of these.
Yeah, I've been waiting to review this one. This one is a big fat 10 for sure.
I'm impressed with the Nelson. Good job, guys. You guys killed it.
Yep. I think there's another one of these too in Jake's fridge I gave him.
Okay.
So we might have to crack that one open later.
Nice.
But we'll jump into the NHL right now. The NHL, the Florida already beat, or already moved on to the next series. They beat Carolina. And now we're just waiting on Vegas to finish off Dallas. I think that one's 3-1 right now. So I think Dallas loses that series. It's kind of tough to come back from 3-1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That is kind of tough.
Yeah, so we'll see. I think
Good luck to them.
Yeah, good luck to them. But we'll see. I think it's Vegas, though, that's going to obviously take
all?
it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they're going to take it all. Florida looks really good. They kind of they look like almost like a team of destiny. And what I've kind of noticed, too, like the last two, so the President's Cup last year, that one was Florida. Florida won the President's Cup, which means like you have the most wins in the regular season.
Okay.
And then they lost. And then the year before that, it was Colorado won it, and then they lost. And then Colorado went on to win the cup the next year. So it could be that kind of President's Cup kind of jinx, I guess, but winning it the next year. But you never know. But your Celtics are fighting back. Ernie's a big Celtics fan.
I am. And, I like what I saw yesterday. They kind of killed it.
Yeah.
And hopefully they can keep with that same energy and, take these last two games. If we do this, it's going to be history.
Yeah.
Coming from an 0-3 deficit, and I'm just like what I'm seeing right now. They just need to keep that energy going.
Yeah, and the NBA, that's never happened before. Coming back from 3-0, because I think when LeBron did it, I think it was 3-1 in that series.
It was with the Warriors, right?
Yeah, and I think the only other time that it's happened is, from what I can remember, is when the Red Sox did it when they won the World Series. They were down 3-0 to the Yankees in the for the National Leagues. I mean, not the National League. Sorry, the American League.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the last time anything ever like that's ever happened.
Happened like that.
Yeah, but if it happens again, that'd be crazy because the two times it actually happened, both teams were in Boston.
Oh,
So that'd be pretty crazy.
that would be pretty fucking nuts.
Oh, but yeah. So and then the freaking Lakers just got stomped out. We got swept right out
I
of the
know,
place.
you know, I was really hoping for a good old classic Celtics Lakers, but it doesn't seem like we're going to get that. You know, good for Denver right now for them making it to the end. They never made it they haven't made it to the fucking championship. So
yeah,
here you go.
and Jokic is fucking bad.
He's
That
a
guy's
bad
just a house
man.
of fire.
He's a bad man. I'm scared. I'm actually scared when we go up against him if we go all the way. But yeah, the guy's baddie.
Yeah, the guy just kills it every freaking time. Like that's why he's won like what 2 MVPs or 3 MVPs already or something like that. That's freaking nuts.
He's a monster.
Yep. And oh yeah, because since it's your birthday weekend, tell the people what we're gonna be doing today.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be grilling some dogs, some bacon wraps, some Chicago dogs, and we're gonna be drinking. A few buddies gonna be coming through. We're just gonna be chilling and hanging. You know,
Chicago. I think that's how you say it.
Chicago, huh?
Chicago.
I see.
Chicago Bulls.
That's Mike and his.
And what else? We're gonna be playing True American.
We're gonna be playing True American. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that game, but it's pretty fun. Look it up, and you guys will see.
Yeah, it was from New Girl.
Yeah,
From the show New Girl. That's how you found it. But it's a pretty. You're pretty much just getting sloshed. Like you're getting hammered. So that should be pretty fun.
yeah, it's gonna be a fun weekend. So let's just see how the night ends.
Yeah. If you guys hear the birds chirping, it's because we're recording outside. It's a kind of a overcast day here in Southern California. But we're going to jump into another brewski here. It's called Riwaka Roots Hazy IPA, coming in at 6.5%. You know what? And I forgot to give the percentage on that one. Could you see that one for me, Ernie?
Yeah, I can. This one is
5.0. Nice, 5 even. Here we go. Let's crack her open. This hazy, eh?
Let's go.
I love their logo. It's like the.
It's actually pretty.
Yeah, it's a sick ass logo. Yeah, this one's coming at 6.5.
The beer of life.
Yep. Brewed with Riwaka hops. Let's pour it in.
Look at that pour.
Oh yeah, get in there all nice and deep like. That's pretty cloudy. They have another hazy. I can't remember what. Oh, fuck, I can't remember the name
are
of
my
it.
favorite too.
Yeah, I had one of them on the show when I recorded. When I was doing the interview with Mackenzie.
Pretty solid.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
They were like every beer I had there was just like
Another one.
yeah.
Nice.
It was so good. But cheers.
Cheers, brother.
Let's go ahead and do that. Oh yeah. I'm all about it. That is delicious for me.
That's good.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. 6.5, and it doesn't feel like, you know, some hazies you can, you know, super like boozy or anything
Yeah, this
like
is
that.
like this is not boozy at all.
Yeah, and being 6.5, I feel like these you can kind of crush, and you won't feel like you overdid it. Like you can have a.
I agree with you right there.
Quite a
This
few
is
of them.
actually pretty fucking nice.
Yeah, it's like the drinkability on it. I feel like it's almost like a session kind of because you can not because I feel like you can just kind of crush a bunch of these and you're not going to feel like like after, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, sometimes when you're drinking hazies, you can be like,
Oh yeah, you
you can have a couple, then you need to switch to something
And
light.
you just like, all right, I need like a Miller or something. I need to slow it
Yeah.
down for a minute.
But these ones, I feel like, yeah, they're super, like, it's clean, it's refreshing, and it's like, you
Color's
do get,
nice.
like, the hop, though, I guess the Riwaka hops really come out in it.
This is my first time trying Riwaka hops. I've never even heard of that hops,
Yeah.
but this is pretty solid, man.
Oh, there's so many, like, different hops now, it's crazy.
There is.
Yeah. And one thing I love about Burgeon, their can artwork is phenomenal. They have really, it's like, some of them really simple, but they look really
No,
cool.
this is legit. I do like the logo.
Yeah.
Logos out there. It's simple.
Yeah.
That's kind of what something pops out, you know, and it's not too crazy like that. This
Yeah.
is nice and clean, and this logo's sick. The beer's sick.
Yeah.
I'm actually digging it. It's not bad, man.
No, for sure, and I can't wait for everybody listening to be able to hear the interview with Mackenzie because she was super cool, super down to earth. Was wanted like told the whole story, like her whole story, get a journey kind of in craft beer and stuff like that. And then she gave us a tour of the whole place, and they had these 2 stacks of cans. It was like I'd never seen cans stacked that high before. Right. But it was like they're all empties, but they were just like ready to roll.
Oh,
I'll show you a picture of it after. It was crazy.
Nice.
But yeah, we all have to go down there. I was telling Jizzy, but I don't know if he's gonna go or not. But going down to Carlsbad in a couple weeks, I'm gonna go interview with Helia and maybe Epic, and I think I might do Dogleg. Just depends on how trashed I am. I don't want to be super shit faced on the show.
It's an if.
Yeah, but I mean, either way, they're all. It's crazy because like Helia is like, say like this is like a corner, and then you just drive up a little bit, like maybe a quarter mile. There's Epic, and then there's Dogleg. They're all like right within there, a quarter mile.
That's pretty sick.
Live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Quarter mile at a time, huh? Nice.
You guys should.
Did you meet the head brewer?
No, I got to meet one of the brewers. I didn't get to meet the head brewer. I got to I met like almost the whole staff. And what I did too specifically for this episode, I took my little lapel mic.
Okay.
And I was recording with had the employees introduce themselves and then like to say their favorite beer, how long they've been with Burgeon, and their favorite beer. So I'm gonna put all of those. I put them all together, and it's gonna be at the end of the episode.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, this one's solid. What are you gonna score it?
You know what? I'll give it a solid. Honest opinion on it, I'm a big hazy guy. I'm gonna give it a 8.5.
Yeah,
it's just easy, smooth.
I'm like kind of right there with you. I'm gonna give it a 9.
9, okay.
Yeah,
agreed.
So I did do a question of the questions of the week on Instagram, but I'm also one of the reasons I wanted to have Ernie on the intro is because I wanted to like tell a funny Ernie, like some funny Ernie birthday stories.
Holy shit.
Because I love you, and but I also want to hear like your favorite, like what was your favorite birthday or stuff like that.
Oh man, to be honest, my favorite birthday was so foggy.
Yeah, because you're always shit faced.
Yeah, man, I can't really think of one, but my best times is just when I'm with you guys, and that's when we have our best times, and we do the most stupidest shit ever for some reason, but. I love it when I'm with my brothers. You know, we're not brothers, but we see each other like brothers.
Brothers from another mother.
Exactly. So any birthday with you guys is my favorite.
Oh, what if you just say like one of your favorite like times we've hung out? Like when what would like one of your favorite like whether we were having a party or
all right. There's that one night where I got shit faced. Mike over here decided to give me a haircut while I was blacked out, drunk. And
I was just trying to clean it up for you. That's all.
No, you weren't. They were trying to give me some nasty ass cut, and they did. They shaved my legs, drawed on me, and everything. But I woke up the next day as like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, but I did come out and say, hey, I'm gonna give you money to go get a haircut. But then Jake ended up.
Yeah, Jake just ended up giving me. He gave me a nice cut, and true homie right there. Pure respect for that. But that was a wild night, and I think that's one of my favorite nights that I had.
Yeah,
when it made me laugh and chuckle, and I still remember that.
Yeah. One of my favorite times though with you is probably. I mean, there's so many of them. Like we've had so many kind of memorable kind of nights, and just drinking together. But I think it might have been when you were sitting in the chair or in the bar stool. I mean, not on the bar stool, but it's like a bar kind of chair. Is the one
that smacked my head?
Yeah, no, you didn't smack your head. You were just kind of like you were slowly like nodding off in the chair, and then I think I recorded it. And then Jizzy walks up and grabs you by the dick.
Oh, that motherfucker, yeah.
And you woke right up. You're like, what the fuck?
You do not want to do that to me, guys.
Yeah. He grabbed him by the wiener.
Yeah. Woke me up real quick.
Yeah.
I was sobered up. It was like, hey, relax, man.
Yeah. But no, there's been so many
there's just so many to even think about. It's just like, like every time we hang out together, it's just always a good time, so.
Yeah. And honestly, really too, like you gotta, if you guys are into gaming and stuff like that, definitely check out his Ernie's Instagram at Chugs Gaming, because he's fucking phenomenal. I can't even hold a candle. I can't even play with him because I'm so terrible.
Yeah, go ahead and scoop that out. It's Chugs Gaming. I play Call of Duty and Apex and just have a good time. Play with Nav.
I just go 6 shooters.
6 shooters?
Yeah, 6 shooters all the way. I heard there's a new guy out, right? Haven't you been using him?
Yeah, his name's Ballistic. Guy's pretty nuts. But yeah, go ahead and check it out if you guys are into gaming and stuff. Stop by, say what's up.
Yeah, and you still live stream?
Yeah.
So you can listen to him chug some beers while he's,
Yeah, I also drink beers, and it's just a bit of just things that you like. I like to do, just drink beers and have play some games and play with my buddies.
Yeah.
So come on and stop by and say what's up.
For sure. And I can't chug myself. I mean, I can chug, but it's just a slow chug. I'm not like
you can't chug.
I know I can. But Ernie can like finish a beer. Like if you pour a beer in a glass or a freaking plastic cup,
2 seconds flat.
Yeah, it's gone. Like we time him all the time. Like I'm sure he's going to be doing that.
We'll post one today on the gram.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we'll probably go live later. I brought the lapel mic, so we might have to do something like that.
Okay, cool.
I did want to ask you too, because so I posed a question to the followers on Instagram. So if you guys ever, I'm gonna try to do that once a week, like I did it last week, doing it this week, and I'm gonna try to come up with different stuff. But this one, so I want you to answer this one, Ernie. Yep. So if you're other than being at a brewery, like if you were gonna have a beer somewhere, where would you want to be?
At a beach, just chilling, listening to the water, and just pounding, good, relaxing, just getting a good buzz and just listening to the water.
Just vibing out?
Just vibing out pretty much, yeah. That's what it is. Just something about the water that just relaxes you and it just makes you enjoy your buzz even better.
Just getting tubed?
Exactly. There's that tube in it, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Where would you go?
For me, that's what, like, some people, like, some of the answers I got was, like, somebody put the backyard, and that's Bone Shack Barbecue. Love that guy.
Hey, solid.
Chris said, like, Coronado. And freaking Lucy had Louis Liquor. Shout out to Louis Liquor on Foothill and Cerritos in Azusa. Definitely go down there, check out their stuff. She put Louis Liquor, duh.
Oh.
And then another person put At the Beach. Mario put Bomb Diggity, which is actually a really cool spot that they have over there.
Yeah.
They make these, so shout out to Bomb Diggity in Upland. They make these hot dogs and burgers, but they put like, you can get a hot dog with nacho cheese, and then they'll sprinkle flaming hot dust on it.
Oh, nice.
Dude, it's fire, dude. And they'll do bacon wrap ones too.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Some street dogs there right there, huh?
Yeah, get you all rotted up.
Hey, it kind of did. I'm not going to lie.
And then OG Chewy Beer, one of my boys, he put Dodger Stadium. He said indie beer taking over. Yeah, for sure.
Go Dodgers.
Yeah, and craft beer is just like taking over a lot of the baseball stadiums now because, I mean, people don't want just like,
It's getting more bigger now that, you could have 2 beers and you'll be fine with a nice buzz like that. If you're drinking a bunch of Millers, it's just like, man, 2 good craft beers and you're solid,
For sure. And I think for me too, like, but going to a baseball game or like tailgating at the SC game.
Yeah.
That would probably be for me because, I mean, it's 6:30. The game doesn't start till 7 p.m. And we're over there tailgating, and it's 6:30 in the morning. So it's just an all-day thing.
That was one of my favorite memories, too, back in the day. Going back to that old question of when we went to the USC game and went barbecuing with Raymond Lucas' family.
Yeah.
And, man, I fell asleep. I slept through the third. I slept through the whole game at their advantage. I missed it, and I woke up at the end of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, but that was a crazy night, and that was fun. Yeah, I agree. Drinking and tailgating.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, man, it's fun.
Yeah, you can't beat a tailgate.
No, you can't.
You get to be good food. You get to walk around campus. Everybody's drinking. Everybody's having a good time, and just having a blast. Like, and what life's about is just having a blast with your buddies, and being able to
just enjoy it. Don't think about shit. Man.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about, like, you can kind of escape from whatever's going on in your life and stuff like that.
And that's what friends are, man. And that's what helps to deal with this normal ass life that we have to deal with.
Yeah. All right. Well, so we're gonna jump into the interview now. And then, but Ernie's going to stay on. We'll be a part of the intro. And also don't forget to stay tuned after the interview for an article from the Bro Code. All right, guys, welcome back to the Tap Room. I am your host, Mike, and I have a very special guest on today. Her name is Mackenzie Kline. She's the marketing director from Burgeon Brewing in Carlsbad, California. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Glad you could be on the show.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah. Got to come down to Burgeon today. Me and Veto were down here for for a day. We wanted to come down and see if we can take the chance to record. Like, we kind of just planned it all, kind of came together within a week.
I love that it came together. Y'all saw the flower fields, right?
Oh yeah, those are beautiful. The brewery, we're in the private event space, but it's beautiful here, and can't wait to check out the other side as well, the tap room. But I did want to ask you, like, how long have you worked for Burgeon?
Yeah, so I have been with Burgeon since 2019.
Okay.
So it'll be 4 years in June. And it's been an awesome 4 years. The company has grown so much in that time. And our team has grown so much in that time too. So it's been awesome to be with the company.
I see that. It seems like you said you guys are growing. We just walked in the back to see the cold box and everything like that. There was the biggest stack of empty cans I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, the Carlsbad crushed cans.
Oh, yeah.
Just waiting to be filled.
Oh, and how long have you been in the craft beer industry?
So actually working for Burgeon is my first role in craft beer. I've loved craft beer for a really long time. My boyfriend and I really started getting into home brewing way back in like 2012 when I lived in Austin.
Okay.
And we've carried that hobby with us everywhere else that we've lived on our path to eventually San Diego. Mm-hmm. And so craft beer has been a special sort of thing for me and for us as a couple for a really long time.
That's cool.
And I was talking earlier about how like he actually is the one who spotted the job posting.
Yeah.
My boss, Matt, posted that he was looking for, at the time, a marketing coordinator. And I applied, just thinking like, oh, this is a great brewery. I was already a fan of the brewery, for sure. And now here we are, 4 years later. Our team has grown so much. The marketing department has also grown. And so it's been been really cool to be along for the ride.
That's awesome. And so you just mentioned like you were homebrewing. Were you doing that out in San Diego before, or you said you were from Cleveland, right? Or were you doing that in Cleveland?
Yeah. So actually, my boyfriend at the time, now we're married. So this is about like 10 years ago. We lived in Austin, Texas together.
Okay.
I was finishing undergrad at the University of Texas in Austin, and he was doing work to get into graduate school. And we met actually waiting tables together.
Okay.
One of our favorite like post-shift beers was like Live Oak Hefeweizen, Live Oak out of Austin.
I don't think I've heard of them, but I know, Hefs. I haven't had a Hef in a long time.
Oh yeah, it honestly, like it really takes me back. They're still making, super great consistent beer. But yeah, spent many after work, hangout session together, drinking craft beers. And eventually, we actually both kind of moved to different areas. I lived in France for a little while.
Okay.
He went to graduate school up in Cleveland. And then that was, we decided, hey, are we going to, continue to make this thing work? And so I moved up to Cleveland, where actually there's a lot of fantastic beer up in the kind of Midwest and Eastern region of the United States. And so, we continued home brewing there. And then when he got placed for, medical residency out here in San Diego, first of all, I was celebrating because we were going from cold Cleveland to here. But also know that there is so much fantastic beer here in San Diego and in California. And so we kept kind of homebrewing and enjoying beer along the way. And I never knew how important all of that would become to my professional life,
Of course.
Now working at Burgeon. So
that's an awesome story. Do you remember the first style of homebrew you did, or what? Do you remember what it was?
It was definitely an IPA. And I will say, like, totally truthfully, I was just a little, brewing assistant.
Mm-hmm.
Like at this point, I could certainly take a brew from start to finish, no problem. But it was actually just an opportunity for me to hang out with Alex and drink beer and help him stir. And, super basic way back then, before I really knew much about beer at all. So, it was an IPA. And now we actually, we have a fun time homebrewing like some of the darker styles. We've done a couple porters, couple stouts, and then imperial versions of both of those. And
awesome.
That's been kind of fun.
Yeah, I took my listeners are probably sick and tired of me saying it, but I've only taken a homebrewing, like one homebrewing class. It was an all grain class. And, they talk about how like roasting, like, how much to roast the malt depending on what kind of style you're going to be brewing. And I was like, man, I'd probably mess something up. But it's weird how you get the different notes, especially from the porters, because it's almost like some of them are kind of like chocolatey notes you kind of get from them, depending on how you roast it. And then you can crystallize them at certain points. I know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's interesting.
It is cool. We homebrew all grain as well. And it's really cool working at a craft brewery like this too, because we'll come up with a recipe and we'll bring it in and talk to Anthony, the head brewer and one of Burgeon's co-founders. Ben is another one of our awesome brewers. Casey is a brewer who used to work for the company. She's moved and is no longer with the organization, but still a really good friend. And you can kind of like pilot, like share what our recipe is and help like get their advice on what we need to dial back and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you pointed out a great thing like chocolate malt. Yeah. You would not anticipate that like grain could have such quality, like such a really, frankly, just chocolatey quality. Yeah. But when you open a bag of like chocolate malt, it legit just smells like dark chocolate. It's the coolest thing ever. So you're right. When you're like, you've milled out your grains or whatever, and you've got all of the different varieties next to one another. Mm-hmm. Like it's cool to see that process going from like grain in a bag all the way to the beer that we eventually drink. Yeah,
and you can see too, like especially with those grains, you'll get kind of. Obviously the longer you roast them, like the harder they get when you're trying to chew on them, because some of them taste like sunflower seeds almost.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. But some of them are really good. Some of them you're like, ooh, it's a little strong, but so good.
Yeah, it's really fun, like when you're in the home brewing process, and it's cool too because I walk into the brewery and like sometimes I can identify what beer we're brewing just by the fragrances or aromas that are in the brewery at the time, and particularly when we're brewing something like dark, like we've got a burl, which is that's just a brown, but like if we do Dutchman's Pipe, which is one of our like most celebrated imperial stouts, like you immediately know when that beer is being brewed in the brewery because it just has that robust, delicious smell.
Oh man, I bet that smells. So that's got to be great coming into work and you'd be able to just get all those smells and everything like that.
Totally. It's funny, like when you go on vacation and then you come back, you don't realize how much you've missed it. Yeah. Because you're not smelling it every day. But it's a cool experience to work for a craft brewery.
Yeah, and it's great. I mean, clearly it's something you love, and like you and your husband are passionate about. So for you to be able to, this to be your job, that sounds amazing. So it's
super cool. Well, thank you for like taking me down memory lane with that. I really haven't thought about that or told that.
I mean, and that's why when I do these things, like when you and I were emailing one another, I kind of mentioned like I don't like it to be like an interview. I like it to just kind of be like a conversation. You can have just you're sitting in a tap room with somebody and you're talking about your life or something like that, or you're talking to a beer tender or something like that.
Totally. Well, cheers to that.
Cheers. And I am drinking this Japanese rice lager. It comes in at, I can't see that far anymore.
Yeah.
My eyes are starting to go.
I think it's 4.3%. I can't read that either.
4.3, 4.2, somewhere around there, but it's a big fat freaking 10 on taste. It's so good. Thank
you so much. Yeah, this was the first time. You'll notice, right? We just call it Japanese rice lager. We just called it the style because it was our first time brewing one of these beers. And it's really cool to kind of like, I don't know, our brew team is so impressive to me. Like this could be the first one that we ever brew and it's so delicious. Is awesome and it's consistent. Like I work here, I should know that it's going to be good right off the bat, right? Because I do, but it's the fact that they can just knock it out of the park on a first try is super cool. Definitely. So hopefully we're brewing more of this kind of style in the future. Yeah, and if you like, once you kind of like, especially like you knocked it out of the park with this one, like you're saying. But I mean, even then, if they wanted to, they could always try to tweak it, a little bit. Like, maybe I want to add notes of this or notes of that. But it was crystal clear, amazing taste to it. It was super crispy. It was really good. Thank you. I'm so glad you liked it. Yeah. I can't wait to try that. Was it Pistil later? Yeah. Pistil, our German Pils. Is that one of the core beers you guys have? It is, yeah. So Pistil's around year. It's here. We have it available year round. Awesome. And it's one of the lagers that we can as well. So. Okay. Yeah. That's really cool. And so the brewery opened. What year did Burgeon open? 2016. 2016. Okay. Wow. So 7 years. So congratulations to Matthew. Yes.
He's the owner of the brewery. He's a really nice guy. He was hoping he could be on the show, but yeah, he's got to take care of the kiddos this weekend. So.
Oh yeah.
But we'll definitely when we come back next month to visit, we'll have to come by and see you guys and hopefully have a beer with you guys.
We'd love that.
And there's another guest on the show. His name is Nico.
Brewery dog.
Yeah, brewery dogs. Hi.
Definitely.
Hi.
Bothering Mike with the tennis ball.
That's okay. So you guys have other locations. No, before we do that, I did want to ask you, because I love the name. What's the story behind the name?
Yeah, so Burgeon, the word, means to grow.
Okay.
And so I think Burgeon's three owners, it's kind of cool because all three of them are from San Diego. And they went to high school at La Costa Canyon High School, which is really not far from where we are right now. And all three kind of parted ways after high school, went away to university. Everybody kind of explored their different particular skill sets. And at some point, the idea, came to the three of them, like, all three of us have specializations in three very different areas, but also three very complementary areas. So Anthony and Derek, are all about brewing, and Derek is sort of our operations guy, and Matt is sales and marketing. And so they're like, we are so passionate for great craft beer, and we have these three, complementary skill sets. Let's try to start a brewery. And so that was kind of how Burgeon came to be from day one. And all three owners are awesome, super hands-on, very active in the company. They're really cool people to work for. And, the fact that they chose the name Burgeon, so meaning to grow, is just so, it really embodies everything that we do here. We're growing as a company, but at a, consistent, awesome way where, we're not trying to grow too fast and outgrow ourselves, without being prepared for it. Of course. But we're also really excited to grow and open new locations and expand our team and expand our distribution. And so, that's kind of how the name ties into everything.
That's so cool. And I love because I do want to talk about the locations too. But the logo I love because it does look like, it's a beer, but it looks like it has roots and it's growing within the ground.
Yeah.
And where's all the stuff you need for beer come from? Except for water. Water just comes from the ground too. So
that's a great point.
Yeah, all that stuff kind of comes together. It all ties back to the name. Yeah,
we like to So if you haven't seen our logo, it's got a pint glass in the center, and then they're rays kind of coming out. It forms like a circle, and then roots kind of rooting down. And we think of those three things as the three main kind of core values or principles of our brand. So obviously, right at the middle, you've got craft beer.
Yeah.
But then the rays, we're down here in San Diego, right? Sunny San Diego.
Yeah.
So that kind of symbolizes our community, and then we've got the roots as well, so that symbolizes our passion for the environment. So those three things kind of come together to form a picture of our logo,
of course,
but then also the three things that are central to the brand.
Definitely. And you guys, if you're in the area, I've only, like I said, we've only been in the private space so far to record, but I can't wait to see the other spot. But the beer is amazing, so you got to get down here. Obviously, Mackenzie's super nice, and it seems like everybody here, they're really passionate about what they do, and it comes through from what you can see, everything, and also with the beer. So
thank you so much.
Yeah. And how many locations do you guys have now?
So we have 4, including the private event space that we're sitting in.
Okay.
The original spot in Carlsbad, which is 2 doors down from us, that's our production facility and the original tap room. That opened in 2016. And then we opened our next location in Escondido.
Okay.
That is 100% outdoor beer garden. We call it the Oasis.
Oh, awesome.
It's kind of tucked in the beautiful hills of Esco. Such a cool vibe out there. Shout out to Joey, the manager of that location. He's really cultivated a super cool community and vibe at the Oasis. And then not long after, so I think just a year, 6 to 8 months after we opened the Oasis, we opened our downtown location called the Arbor.
Oh, okay.
And that's another wonderful, that location has a restaurant as well.
Okay.
So it's a taproom restaurant. We got full wine list as well. We offer a lot of different options, including some of the best food. Honestly, the chef down there, Chef Anthony Pierre, is working some magic. Like,
awesome.
He plays around with a lot of like fusion.
Okay.
So like, like he's so masterful and creative in the kitchen, and that's like one of the big draws for that location.
Wow.
It's right downtown, like super close to Petco Park.
Oh, okay.
So,
love Petco.
Yeah.
I used to go down to Duckfoot all the time because Duckfoot was like right in that area.
Yeah, totally.
Haven't been there in a long time, but yeah, we would go to the baseball. It was like pre-COVID, before COVID ruined stuff.
Oh yes. When you're down later, in a couple weeks or next month, we'd love to host you down. We could.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, set you up with trying some items off the menu and
all
that
love
good
to.
stuff.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Cool.
And if anybody's in the Carlsbad area and you want to get married, they do special events over here in the special event area. Was it weddings and birthdays and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, corporate events, like honestly any type of like event that you can imagine. The space, it's intimate is your word. And it's the perfect word for it. It's a quite beautiful space, but it also is very warm and inviting. So you can have a party of 15 people in this space and have a great vibe, or you could have 115 people and also still get to host something really magical. So yeah, it's a cool spot.
It really is, and it's beautiful. I mean, honestly, Carlsbad, San Diego, like Vista, all these like areas around here, it's always gorgeous out here. The sun's always out. Everybody say hi to Nico. It's always gorgeous, and I mean, I know every city has its rainy days, but I mean, every time I come down here, I feel like it's just so pretty.
Yeah, we're very lucky.
Yeah.
San Diego is such a great place, and the craft beer community is such a great place to work. I mean, every day I come in with a smile on my face because I work with awesome people, but I'm also, it's a delicious, wonderful product, and that's another thing about like the craft beer industry in general is like community is, I know it's sometimes an overused word, but like it's very real in craft beer.
Yeah.
Like instantly, you make instant friends and connections. And I feel like, a lot of my coworkers and their, significant others, spouses, families have all become a part of my life and my sort of extended family here. So it's really cool to be a part of this community, and I get to meet nice people like you guys.
No, of course. I mean, like, the pleasure's all mine to be able to, to meet you and to be able to be here, and just to, like you were saying, how you can meet people within the craft beer community. And like, that's why I like to just have like, conversations. And like, when I was actually just talking, because sometimes I'll do, because I love to interview like people in like the marketing side, the brewing side, owners, all that sort of stuff. But I also do like the Instagram spotlight episodes, where I'll pick like an influencer in beer, and they'll be in Philadelphia or they'll be in Delaware, but we can have a conversation. It's like we've never said two words to one another, but we start talking and for an hour, and then we're like, boom, we're like friends.
Yeah, totally.
It's so easy. Like, I feel like the craft beer community is super like welcoming and like comforting, and like they're not like, I haven't had one bad experience, knock on wood.
Yeah.
But I haven't had one bad experience just like meeting people. And I remember when I first started doing this show by myself, I was worried, like, man, I wonder if like, like I want to get in touch with breweries, but maybe they're going to be like, who's this kid? Or who's this guy? I'm not a kid anymore. I'm 36. But, you can kind of like, I remember I reached out to one. They're like, yeah, that'd be cool. I was like, Like, it was like, okay. So I was like, one said yes. I was like, well, I'm just going to reach out to like a few of them, see if, and then all of them start responding.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
But I mean, if you do that to I feel like in any other community, and that's probably not true, but I feel like with a lot of other communities, when you reach out, like, to someone that has like 30,000 followers or, something like that, they're not going to respond. But then some, I feel like in the craft beer community, of course there are some that don't.
Yeah.
But I'd say about 75% of the people that I've talked to have responded to me. And it's just sending a message on Instagram, like, and I reached out to, to you guys, and that's when I think they gave me Matthew's email. So me and Matthew were talking, and then he was just like, well, I'm going to get somebody for you because I can't be there. And then lo and behold, had the pleasure of you being on. So
thank you.
Yeah,
I love the way that you described that too, because I think you're 100% right. Like it is, thank you so much for the opportunity to be on the show and talk about, Burgeon. But it's also just really cool because, like, just for you to reach out and like want to talk about this, it's like, oh, heck yeah. Immediately, you know, there's going to be, you know, friendship and warmth and just fun conversations. So who could say no to that?
Oh, for sure. And I mean, that's what it's all about for me. Just this, you know, enjoying, you know, a beer, talking, you know, having a good conversation and, you know, just enjoying, like, just genuinely enjoying someone else's company that you haven't met before.
I love that. That's,
you know, and that's cool. To me, that's what it's. I mean, if there's more of that in the world, then we'd be a lot better off.
On that note, can I pour you guys another beer?
Yeah, well, let's get one. Okay. I'm gonna do a quick pause, guys. And you heard Nico again. Just kidding, Nico. So you guys won some Best of Craft Beer awards down here. Could you tell us a little bit, tell me and the listeners a little bit about that?
Yeah. Actually, we've got a can here in a minute where you can open it of Pistol, which is one of the award winners. This has been, you know, the way that craft beer awards in general kind of work, just for anyone who's listening, you know, like, in order to get the beer to the right place to be judged at the right time, there's so many things that have to fall into place for a craft brewery. So like, you know, to submit the beer that you like want, you have to like plan that into your production calendar so that you brew it and it's freshest at the time so that it's ready to submit, right? And so, you know, over the last couple of years, it's been really, really cool to see like our brew team kind of like as often as possible send our beer out so that, you know, this type of like, you know, review from, you know, when you look at awards, like it's really cool to receive some hardware, right? Because it's a, you know, like kind of a cool sign, but also for us, it's indicative of like what we're doing that's successful. Yeah. Right. And so, you know, one of the gold medals that we just received was for Pistol here. And it was really cool to kind of have that beer, you know, showed off in the right way, because like we were talking about earlier, a lot of times hops as the star of the show, like in West Coast IPAs and hazy IPAs, all that kind of good stuff, to be given an award for something as like traditional as a German Pilsner is huge for us.
Oh, so. Of course. I mean, that's what they always say, like you know a brewery's doing things right when their Pilsner's good.
Yeah. Well, thank you. That means the world.
And I love the can artwork. It's like, you know, it's a simple can, but it's like, you know, it's still like, it pops, like the silver still pops on the white, you know, and I love the logo. The logo just does it everything for me. But I'm going to crack into the mic.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was good.
That was awesome. Yeah, like you pointed out, like what we try to do with our beer art is really match like what's inside the can, right?
Yeah, I don't know if you saw my eyes right now.
That was an awesome reaction.
Yeah. That's good. Oh, big time.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, so this one is like as traditional as possible, right? So like we've got German malt, we've got German yeast, and it's really kind of cool. In a little bit, we can taste Clever Kiwi, which is like our Nelson hopped Pilsner. Super, you know, contemporary, exciting. I think Clever Kiwi as a, you know, it's a Pilsner brewed with Nelson hops. And I think that honestly, that was the first of its kind. I'm not familiar of another brewery that approached a Pilsner in that way. So it's kind of cool when you're comparing the two things to think about like something as traditional as Pistol here, or German Pils, and then later to kind of try something that's a little bit more experimental and exploratory.
I love that. I mean, that's so good.
Thank you.
I'm just staring at it. But we're also drinking, the other was Carlsbad Crush?
Carlsbad Crush, yeah.
Okay, love that.
Speaking of award winners, this one pulled silver at GABF a couple years ago.
Awesome.
And we loved this beer. You know, we all instantly loved it. It's super aromatic. Like, you smell it, and I get like blueberries and passion fruit.
Yeah, you get... Oh, yeah. And what style is this? The West Coast? Yeah.
It's a West Coast pale ale. So it comes in at like 5.8%.
And see me, because I know West Coast can get up to, you know, as high as like 8%. So, you know, sometimes a little higher depending on where you go. But I feel like if you can, you know, I love like that, you know, when a West Coast, it's crystal clear and it's like around that 5% because then they're completely crushable. You can, you know, you also don't feel like you I mean, don't get me wrong, I love quads, so nobody butcher me. But you can have, way more of these and just have a good time. You're not drinking 2 or 3 and you're like on the floor.
Right, yeah. You want something that's like honestly crushable.
Yeah.
And that's where the name comes from. So obviously we're here in Carlsbad.
Yeah.
And we can look at that can in a little bit, but that one's just like, blues and greens, and honestly just makes me think of like a wave or something, and so crushing waves, crushing cans of Carlsbad Crush. Yeah. Those are things we like to do at Burgeon.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of like, crushing, and you were talking about waves, since you've been in Carlsbad for 4 years, 5 years?
5 years.
5 years? Have you been surfing at all?
I am a terrible surfer.
Okay.
But I love to go out. I'll paddle out just to sit on my board, honestly, because there's nothing as like peaceful and calming and, it gives perspective to be out floating on the ocean.
Yeah.
We're so lucky in San Diego to have access to all these amazing beaches. And Carlsbad, there are some pretty epic places to surf all the way down. Like I live in Encinitas, so just 15 minutes down the road from here.
Yeah.
And in between Encinitas and here in Carlsbad, there are some of the best beaches in the whole nation. So
I haven't surfed since, it's been years and years and years, but I used to love doing it. Like I grew up watching, like, I don't know if they've like baptized you into surf culture since you've been here, but like Bruce Brown, like anything Bruce Brown did, like then the summer movies when I was a kid growing up were like my everything. I even made her watch Chasing Mavericks last night. She had never seen it.
I also have not seen it.
So. Oh, it's okay. It's okay though, because surfing, I feel like even with that, it's like you're kind of a tight knit kind of thing where it's like, not like you have to kind of live in those cities like to be really into it, because the second you kind of get outside of those beach cities, it's not nearly like because like they have football teams in a high school in the like the LA area, but like when you go to the beaches, they like go like Newport, stuff like that, they used to have surf teams.
Oh, it's so cool. Like growing up in Texas, football is huge, and
of course,
soccer and basketball. But then when I moved out to San Diego and was talking to Matthew, my boss, like we were talking about, one of Burgeon's owners, and he told me that he was on the surf team in high school, I was like, wait a second, you guys like compete in surfing? That was super cool. And I know there are a ton of Californians listening to this, and they're shaking their head at me right now, but that was kind of a surprise, and I loved it.
It's totally true. Like when you have because it's just not like it's kind of like almost like lacrosse, too back east.
Yes,
like lacrosse is super huge, right? Out here, I mean, there may be a lacrosse team every 100 high schools or something like that, but they're just not, you don't see them as often.
Yeah, it's not as ubiquitous like you're talking about. So all 3 of Burgeon's owners grew up, surfing forever and ever. And that's one thing that's kind of cool about this company too. Like, even though I don't surf, I'm super active, and like everybody who works here essentially, I don't, it's not a job requirement, but like we all happen to love to hike and we love to camp.
That's awesome.
And so when we do like employee outings, which are planned by our wonderful events coordinator, Melody, oftentimes they are like camping, right?
Okay.
We'll go out and we'll get like a group campsite somewhere and
awesome.
grill and spend some time outdoors. On that same note, Carlsbad has a really awesome campground that's just right along the coast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's super cool. So if y'all ever are camping, that's definitely...
I'm up for that.
I'm going to grab a campsite. But yeah, it's fun. We're a very active team, and because we all love the outdoors so much too, sometimes we'll plan what we call branch outings, where our events where we get, we invite our community to come join us, get RSVPs, and we'll go out and like clean up a trail, and then everybody have beer and lunch after on us. So those are some fun things that we try to do to get our community looped in on that.
Awesome. Well, because we always, at the end of each show, I mean, we're still a ways away from that, but at the end of each show, we always do the locals only, and I think I sent you like that little spot. But that we can talk about the hikes too, because, we both love to hike as well. So next time we're down here, we can definitely do something like that. But your favorite style of beer? I know we've kind of talked about it a little bit throughout the show, but do you have like you started out like really liking beer?
Yeah, I think
craft beer.
Definitely. I feel like the West Coast IPA style is the first thing that really captivated me.
Okay.
And And, my palate has really evolved a lot over the past couple of years. And like, I feel very grateful that Burgeon is a huge influence on that, right?
Yeah.
We make some stellar West Coast IPAs. But on that same note, we play around with hops in so many different ways. And like that Nelson hopped Pilsner that I was talking about, Clever Kiwi, is such an innovative and like super cool beer. And I like to describe it as like the gateway beer.
Yeah.
Because like if you don't know much about Pilsners, like lagers, and you haven't really explored this style, having a hoppy lager is like a great bridge, right? From like West Coast IPAs, pale ales to something still very light and delicious, but also with that hop kind of profile. So yeah, I mean, honestly, I love any versions of any style. Like I would drink anything that's super high quality, right? Because I love like playing around with style and all that kind of good stuff. But if I were to pick one, it would be a West Coast IPA.
Yeah, I know it's tough because it's a loaded question. Because there's so many great different styles. Like, I mean, like you and I were talking kind of off air earlier about how hazies. I love hazies. Like the hazier the better, the cloudier the better. But I feel like that was like a big time kind of bubble, and it has like it. I mean, I feel like it's still super popular, but it's not as like. I feel like Pilsners are kind of Pilsners, lagers, West Coast are kind of coming back up again, where like they kind of not took the backseat to hazies, but where hazies just kind of were so huge, like it was kind of like everybody had to have one. Yeah. Yeah. If you weren't making a hazy, like it was just like that was the big thing. But I mean, and like I said, don't get me wrong, I love them, but I've kind of really, at least in the last few months, I've gotten so much back into Pilsners, lagers, and when they're done right, they're just so good. And all that hoppy kind of flavor you're talking about, whether it's that or a West Coast, they're all like you can. I feel like sometimes if they're both, when they're done right, you can't really distinguish like the Pilsner and the West Coast, because even like these two, like they're both, they taste different, but both absolutely delicious, but have similarities to them.
Well, thank you. That good. Means a lot. I will pass along the praise to our brew team. Yeah. But you pointed out something kind of interesting in that, like, we really like to listen to our audience and our customers, right? So like we know, and our brewer Anthony is like honestly such a creative genius in my opinion, and like, mad respect for him, and he knows like what styles he loves and what styles like he can execute perfectly, he and his team. Yeah. But at the same time, like if we're, we really like to listen to what, hear the responses from our audience. And oftentimes that dictates, what beer we take, from a draft only release into a can. And then there's the potential for that can to become part of our either like regular kind of seasonally rotating offerings or even part of our core lineup. And really it all comes down to us producing and constantly like experimenting and pushing the boundaries and all that kind of good stuff, and then hearing from our community like what do y'all like, right? Because the numbers don't lie. When you're selling out of something really fast, that's how you should keep brewing it. And so we love listening to our community in that way, but at the same time like really preserving our commitment to like style and consistency and experimentation. So
100%, and that's one of the things I like too, because you can, like, there's some, not in the brewing industry or like in any kind of job, you can get kind of complacent sometimes. But when you're constantly striving to make it better, that's what, to me, that's like when you're willing to. I had an old supervisor that told me a long time ago, and I'm in the insurance industry, and he told me, he said, like, the more you know in this business, the more you're worth. Like, but like it's kind of like that, just that knowledge, like wanting to try different things and learn different things and be able to, what's this hop profile going to do to this, but we used this one last time, kind of thing. You can kind of do that deep dive. Yeah. And I go off on tangents sometimes, so I do apologize.
No, I love to hear that.
But yeah, that's like, to me, that's awesome when you can, when you have people that are that creative. Like you said, Anthony was his name, you said. Sounds like he's got his, finger on the pulse of what's going on with the craft beer community, and also what your fans and, your drinkers like really like.
Yeah, our brew team is so impressive to me. So it is led by Anthony, who's one of our co-founders, but we also have a fantastic brewer on our team who's called Ben.
Okay.
He's a wonderful guy, and we're currently hiring. We're expanding our brew team,
nice.
Which is a really cool thing. And so, we're just making so much beer that we need that team to grow.
Of course.
But yeah, it's cool. We're releasing right now more beers than we ever have in terms of just like variety of brands as well. So on our current path, we're really consistently releasing 2 new beers every 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So every other Friday, you can expect a new double can release from us. And that's a lot of beers.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
48, if you keep down, break that down, it's like 48 new cans a month. And that's not even including like all the new one-off kind of draft releases that we do that are our opportunity to kind of hear from our customers. Like, is this a beer style that is this a particular beer in itself in the recipe, or is this a beer style that we should explore more?
Yeah.
So they're putting out so many delicious beers, and somehow they're all unique and exciting and different from one another. I don't know how they do it, but
and that's the best part, because you want, as many. I'm sorry. I was like thinking, like everything. The wheels are going in my head like so fast sometimes. I'm like, what question do I want to ask first? But I just wanted to ask, like, like you said, how doing the different can releases, all the stuff that goes into obviously like the beer, but then there's also and obviously you built like such a huge following out here, so people, you build that trust. So they're like, oh, it doesn't matter what it is. It's a can release. I'm going to be there. I'm going to check that out. One thing I love about the cans is the can artwork.
Thank you.
Yeah, and that is you doing the can artwork.
Me.
I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
we've got some really fun new labels that are out right now. When we walk back over to the brewery, I'd love to show you guys some of those, and we can taste along the way.
For sure.
But it's really important. All of this, the process starts collaboratively. So we've got a team of people who sit down at a table, and we decide what beer styles, what do we name the beers? Naming a beer is like low-key one of the hardest things to do.
Yeah.
Because our brew team produces so many delicious beers with different recipes that we're like, how do we come up with a new name?
Yeah.
It sounds like so Burgeon, but has not been used before, and it's surprisingly very hard.
I always kind of refer to it as, and I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to get you. But I mean, like, how to, like, it's almost like when somebody tells you, like, name like 10 movies with this actor in it, and you're like normally if you just ask somebody, like they'll be like, oh, they can ramble off so many, especially if it's like a Leonardo DiCaprio or Tom Hanks or something like that. But when you put somebody on the spot, you're like,
oh yeah,
you kind of
totally, that happens all the time. We're sitting around the table, and what's kind of fun is that we've got like a Slack channel open. So we can just all drop beer names all the time. Because when, like you're saying, when the pressure is on, it's really hard to come up with one. But yeah, that is part of the process. And when we eventually do land on a name, that's where they kind of hand off the recipe to me. And I'm like, all right, how can I do my best to describe this visually on a can? Of course. And it's one of my very favorite parts of the job. It's super cool. So
that's awesome.
It starts collaboratively, and then I get to take it and have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, of course.
And on that same note about having fun with it, that's true for everything that we do in every department. Like, we believe if we're having fun with it, then we can share that energy with others. Like, folks will know if you're having a good time. And we want that. We want people to come and enjoy our beer and have a good time, whether you've got a can on the beach, a can at your house, or whether you're in one of our spaces and we're lucky enough to be pouring you a pint and sort of enjoying the moment together. So, everything from can designs to the experience we try to provide to our community in our locations. Just want to have fun with it. So.
And how long? Because I've always been kind of curious. Because I mean, I think I mentioned you earlier, and people are going to be like, "You talk about your brother all the time." But
your brother, the guitarist.
Yeah. The guitarist. The can. He does all the can work. He does the distro for over at Brewery X. He does he wears a lot of hats, but I was there because like when it comes to can artwork, like how long? Like, what's the process of going from when you first do the design to it being in the back?
Oh yeah, that's a great question. really depends. So during COVID times, there was like a big time can shortage. So lead times from, different can providers, that like really changed how far out we had to be planning things. So, it used like pre-COVID, we could probably get a can, sleeve designed, and from the minute you send the artwork, maybe like 3 to 4 weeks before the cans are in-house. Now, we work with an awesome label provider, CanCraft. They provide both our cans and our labels for both our printed cans and for our sleeved cans. And they are fantastic to work with. And we've got a process that's kind of dialed in to where like I submit art for a PO, and we've got like, let's call it 12 to 16 new can designs on a PO. And from the time of like submission and art approval to like getting cans in house is about 6 weeks.
Okay.
But if you're thinking about when you're ordering, that like order of cans is going to cover us for like 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
So there's quite a bit of planning involved.
Yeah.
And really like sticking to a calendar. But we've got an awesome team who, come together. We've got, our releases planned kind of through January of 2024 already, which
it's crazy how far ahead you have to plan like that. But I mean, it just shows like how big you guys are now, and like how, and continue to grow. So, because you have like Mount Everest, the Mount Everest of cans back there. So.
Oh yeah. When we walk back over to the brewery, we can look at our custom canning line.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
I think it was 2 years ago we hit 1 million cans packaged.
Wow.
And so that was from a 4-year stretch. And then not long ago, we hit 2 million cans packaged.
Wow.
So those million can milestones are becoming closer and closer together because we are canning so much beer now.
You have to keep ordering more and more. So congratulations to you and everybody at Burgeon for those accomplishments. That's really awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, the merch. I'm always looking at the merch online.
Oh yeah.
I look at the merch. I love the logo. I love the beer. Like the artwork. I would say I love the cans, but I love how it is. Like like you said, it's like growing. It's like, but then you guys kind of incorporate. Almost looks like the ocean into it too a little bit, like with like certain merch and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, we want we want to be a reflection. Everything that we put out there, we want to be a reflection of who we are as a team, who we are as a brand, and also like who we are in terms of like where we are. We're in San Diego. We're so lucky to be here. We want to like reflect that warm, sunny, like SoCal vibe back to our customers and our audience in every way possible. So we do try to pull in some of those ocean themes into some of our like can designs and merch and all that kind of good stuff, and also come out with like merch that fits what our community will be doing.
Yeah.
So like in a couple of weeks we've got these really cool can koozies coming out. If y'all seen those like hard-sided ones.
Oh yeah.
Where you drop the can in, and so those are awesome because they keep cans cold forever.
Yeah.
And
my sister has a few of those.
Does she?
Yeah.
They're awesome. I have one. And the thinking behind that is like, where are people drinking our beer, right? Like you could have a koozie, which we do have those, right? But like if you want something that's a little bit more like rigid and sustainable and helps keep it cold for even longer when you're at the beach or when you're camping or all the things that we all like to do here in Southern California, we want to provide Burgeon swag to support those activities.
For sure. Yeah. Like you have the sun, you have the ocean, you also have the that growth from from the soil, like obviously like on the logo, like the flower fields, and it is pretty green out here. I would say like compared to like a lot of other cities. Obviously, like when you go to like LA, Orange County, and I love those places, so don't take this as a knock, but like you miss that kind of green to be able to see that. Like I have, my mom lives out in Kansas, and when I go out there, and you can kind of see. Like it's just green everywhere, and like you kind of miss that aspect of it, that nature kind of aspect to it.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you're out here, like the flower fields yesterday were gorgeous. Like they were really nice, and you had fun because she loves sunflowers. So. Oh,
I love that. I love sunflowers too. Yeah, I think San Diego. We work with a lot of organizations. So we've worked with REI. We've worked with the Escondido Creek Conservancy. We're about to work with the San Diego Mountain Biking Association. All of these organizations make it a priority to preserve the green areas and like outdoor access for like here in San Diego, which is a really cool thing, right? Like if we love to enjoy the trails that we get to hike on and love to like enjoy the view like you're talking about of all the green kind of hills and canyons and lagoons that are here in San Diego, we all need to work to preserve those.
Of course.
And so it's really cool to work for a company that like gets behind that, and that like not only do we donate not only do we donate a fair amount to these organizations year to year, but we also dedicate our time, and we like, if we have a big event, we try to partner with a nonprofit so that we can give back through what we do and support what it is that they do. So, for example, we recently we brewed an IPA called Reclaim the Sea.
I saw that one. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we partnered with an organization called Sea Trees, and it's such a cool project. I did not know any of this before we started working with them, but like, giant kelp forests have the power to sequester so much CO2 from the air that if we think about restoring those ocean forests, they can really be super helpful in working to like reverse climate change and helping to like reverse the footprints that we leave on the planet just by being here and doing business. And so it's really cool to work with them. This particular beer, every pint sold, helps them plant and restore California's giant kelp forests.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So like I forget, it was a couple of years ago, we experienced a marine heat wave here in Southern California, and it wiped out a fair amount of our coastal kelp. And, now that I understand how powerful kelp can be in helping, reverse climate change, like, or do what it can to sequester that CO2, and to work with an organization that is focused on restoring those forests and like keeping our oceans blue and healthy and protecting those like micro ecosystems and habitats for all of the wonderful marine life that we have here in California is super cool. So I believe Reclaim the Sea IPA is still available now and online in our tap rooms and at burgeonbeer.com, and is definitely like a worthy cause. You get to enjoy a beer, and
of course, and there's that whole story behind it. Like, it's everything going on. That's when it comes to the ocean. It's just good to be able to protect that, and like you said, with the kelp beds for them to be able to, or the kelp forest to be able to clean up some of that CO2. How awesome is that? Yeah, to be able to support two organizations that are doing good for the world. So
thank you. Yeah, drink beer and do some good while you're at it.
There you go. That's all you need. Do you guys, because I always see you guys have food trucks too out here.
Yeah. We do. Here in Carlsbad, we have food trucks like Thursday through Sunday. Okay. And we work with some really awesome local food vendors who provide like a huge variety of food. So if you go to burgeonbeer.com and go to any location page, you'll be able to see what food trucks are available. Our downtown location called the Arbor in Little Italy, that spot has a full menu available all the time. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a favorite kind? I'm not trying to put you on the spot, because I love food trucks. I love like burger food trucks. That's like my game right there. There's one called Back to the Burger we had not that long ago. Oh man.
Oh, nice.
It was a Back to the Future logo.
Yeah.
But so good. Are you a burger person?
I love burgers.
Okay. Because I always got to ask, what's the best burger in Carlsbad? I know there's In-N-Out everywhere in California, and I love In-N-Out, don't get me wrong. But do you have a favorite burger spot here in
my
Carlsbad?
House is probably,
there you go.
Honestly, between friends, just so y'all know. Awesome. But to everybody else, there's Carlsbad Brewing Company right up the road. Okay. They have several different burgers on their menu that are fantastic. Awesome. I forget the name of one, but it has like fried onions on it and barbecue
that's
sauce
her right
and all
there.
that. Oh yeah, it's super good. Give me all the sauce, right, and all the crunchy toppings and ingredients. So yeah, shout out to Carlsbad Brewing Company.
Awesome. We're actually, because I'm later on today, when we head back to LA, I'm going to make burgers, but I'm going to do smash burgers. But we got some Wagyu
Nice.
Ground Wagyu, we're going to try to do smash burgers at it.
Smash burgers is where it's at, for sure.
So is that what's going on in your kitchen?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. And
all right.
Next time you're here in San Diego, we make a really good burger down at the Arbor as well. That's our downtown spot. So if you're speaking San Diego more broadly, that's an excellent burger. There's also a spot called The Friendly.
Never heard of that place.
If you're looking for a smash burger, that's where to find it. Yeah.
That sounds good. Mm-hmm. Do you have any other favorite, that doesn't have to be a burger place, but just favorite restaurants in Carlsbad?
That's a great question.
The locals only section of the, of the podcast.
There's so much wonderful food here in Carlsbad. I mean, if I were to just shout out one, it's not technically Carlsbad, but just not far away at all, is Craft Coast.
That's right. Oh, yeah, you mentioned them earlier to me. Yeah.
They're not too far from us at all, and it's some of the best birria I've ever had.
Okay.
Like, they bring the cup of consomme, and it's so delicious. Their birria nachos are fantastic.
Awesome.
And they also make really great beer, and it's cool to be able to shout out other breweries, when we're here talking about, like, Burgeon, too, because, again, the community thing, there's such good people. They make really good food and great beer, so love to provide them with that shout out too.
Yeah, and it's like we were saying earlier, it's the craft beer community. To me, it's the best community out there when it comes to wanting to include everybody. Mm-hmm. Wanting to be able to just, to be able to sit down and have this conversation. Like, sometimes it just takes, and I always try to say this to listeners because maybe they want to start something or maybe they want to try something. All it takes is a message. Like, you send them a DM and maybe they respond, maybe they don't. Mm-hmm. But I mean, there's so many, because there's, the craft beer community is so like inclusive, you can be able to, send a message and, oh, hi, Nico. And you can send that message and get a response, Like I said, it may not be every time. It may not be 100% of the time, but probably like 75, 80, 90% of the time, somebody responds.
Well, and your point about like talking about like brewery friendships too, and this is something we're big on, our brewery collaborations.
Oh, yeah.
So we've done quite a few with Craft Coast. I mean, we've done some epic collaborations. Earlier this year, we had one called Rainbow Pulp, which was our hazy IPA collab with Great Notion.
Oh, I love Great Notion.
Really fun. Yeah. The can was like Grateful Dead inspired.
Oh, that's
like,
awesome.
Roses and kind of a skull. It was a fun design to do, but the collaboration side of things is super cool. Because, I mean, if you're always trying to, like, elevate your craft and do something better, what better way to do it than inviting in people where you can sort of share your secrets, share your skills. Like
100%.
And so we often, invite others to join us, but we're very active collaborators as well. So we go to other breweries and work with other breweries to make other delicious beers elsewhere. So it's a really cool community to be surrounded by so much friendship and lack of competition, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's all about collaboration.
Yeah, it's about, because, obviously there are the beer competitions, but, like, when you're just, like, like you said, it's, like, inclusive, you can have everybody on, like, on board for a collaboration, because one person might brew a hazy one way, and you guys might brew a hazy a different way. And you'll be like, oh, I didn't know you guys did that, or I didn't know you guys did that. So you guys can, try and, mix shit up.
Yeah.
Totally. And, do stuff like that.
Have fun with it.
Yeah. And to me, that's the best. Like, that's why I love doing this. It's just being able to, like I said, and I say it 100 times an episode, but just having a conversation and having a good time and, just being able to sit here and look at everything. And I kept telling her, I was like, they hold weddings. Maybe we can do that one day. So.
You hearing wedding bells?
Oh, yeah. I talk about it more than she does. So.
Yeah, no, it's awesome to be able to have had this conversation. So thank you so much for coming in and checking it out. And I can't wait to show you around the tap room as well.
Yeah, and we may come back if we can get some of the other workers on for a sec. But for now, thank you so much for being on the show, Mackenzie. This has been a blast, and thanks for having us. And for the beer, they're all freaking great.
Thank you. Honestly, the pleasure was mine. Thank you so much for coming here. And this was such a fun conversation. I appreciate it.
Oh, I know. To me, this is, like I said, this is everything for me. I love my day job, in insurance, but this is like my therapy.
I love that. Yeah. Well, thank you. This was a fun therapy session.
Yeah. I was going to try to say something funny there, but I lost it. So. It's all right. So Tap Fams, no, you may actually hear something after this, but who knows? But if not, stay tuned for an article from the Bro Code.
Hi, my name's Tori, and I am the marketing coordinator here at Burgeon. And my favorite thing about Burgeon, besides the amazing plethora of delicious beers that we have, is probably I guess I would say the community and the environment that we build here. I really appreciate how much we value connecting with our outside community, as well as building an environment that people want to be a part of and want to connect to all the people that work, behind the scenes, as well as, the people that are sitting and enjoying the beers in our tap rooms. So.
Hi, my name is Brittany. I work for Burgeon Beer Company. I've been here for just over a year, and my favorite beer that we have on draft is going to be easily the Carlsbad Crush Mosaic Pale Ale.
Hi, my name's Jenny. I've been at Burgeon for a little over 2 years. My favorite beer is our German-style Pilsner, the Pistol.
Hi, my name is Mel. I've been working at Burgeon for 5.5 years. I love our team is the best of the best in this industry. I love working here. I love our vision. And my favorite beer is Trivana, which everyone makes fun of me because that's all I drink.
Love that. And you got a sweet little...
This is a little Lou Dog.
Love that.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that or enjoyed the interview, because if you couldn't tell, I had a blast. It was just, I can't say enough good things about Burgeon and everybody there. That's why I wanted to include the other employees that were working there at the time, the day I was there. Everybody was super nice, super cool. I mean, go down to Carlsbad. They have a ton of cool breweries down there, and you have the beach right there. And the
beer's solid. Yeah.
And there's a place, I can't remember the name of it. I think it might be called Park 101. They have lobster queso fries.
Oh my God.
Fucking firme.
There you go. You can't beat that. Beach, brewski, and some lobster fries? Nah.
Exactly.
That's money.
So good.
Shout out to Burgeon, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
They're amazing people and super just hospitable and courteous and just every day down to earth, just good people. And if there's more people like them in the world, we're in a better place.
Exactly.
And they're putting out banger beers. so
go check them out, man. They're doing something right.
Yeah.
And you'll like it.
Yeah.
Trust me, I like it. I'm picky with my beers, and this is actually pretty solid. So
yeah,
go ahead, check them out.
Yeah, and I just want to say thanks again, Ernie, for being on. We'll do a quick cheers.
Man. Yes.
Do a quick cheers. We'll do a drink. Then I'm gonna read from the Bro Code. All right, we have the article from the Bro Code, and I don't know. I guess I would think some people would obviously know what it is, because How I Met Your Mother was such a big show.
Big show, yeah.
But I love that show. That's why I do this each week. But Article 19. A bro shall not sleep with another bro's sister. However, a bro shall not get angry if another bro says, dude, your sister's hot.
You know what? Fuck you, Mike.
And that's the end of the episode.
Son of a bitch.
Hope you enjoyed that. Love you, Tap Fam.